Sexual temptation. When we look at sexual temptation, there are many areas that we can say we fail to respond. But I think we fail to respond radically in two areas, and that's through our ignorance and that's through our passivity. Let's look at Brian's situation. Brian passively sat back while his friends looked at certain things on the internet, certain magazines, and he did nothing about it. And that corruption created within him a false standard of sexuality, and it played itself out in his relationship with Tiffany. So we see this false standard that is being actively pursued, not only in the male, but the male in the urban culture, and creating this false, skewed view of women. And so now we don't see women to be esteemed. We don't see them as one to be served, but we see them as objects of pleasure, objects of relief, objects of what we can extort from them. So we must war to keep the standard of purity. Jesus, being the picture of the perfect man, he dissolves the lie that being sexually active is connected to being the ultimate male. And what I mean by that Jesus, it says about him that he was tempted in all things, yet he was without sin. That means sexual as well. Christ, he saw sex in its proper context, meaning he was single and he didn't engage in sex. So it shows that manhood is not tied to being sexually active. And the problem is that we have a ton of men in this culture unwilling to incarnate themselves, specifically in the urban culture, to lead a generation of men who love their wives, who do not see sex as a tool for pleasure, who do not see women as an object to be extorted, but they see sex as a way to communicate unity, oneness, wholeness. They see women as in creation in the image of God to be esteemed and uplifted. Our communities need men who see sex in its proper context and who are willing to plant themselves in these urban communities to lead young men into manhood to represent that standard of Jesus Christ.